Do you live here?
No, I don't live here. I live
Okay.
in Boston. And
Oh,
yeah. I came for a vacation and doing some business.
okay. Yeah. This is definitely a good place for vacation and yeah, a
Yeah.
good place for business too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What type of business? I mean, if it's okay to ask.
No, it's about actually the the embassy. Things.
Oh,
Yeah.
U.S. Embassy. Okay,
Yeah.
that's really neat. I think you're like a powerful symbol right now. Just, I mean, being able to do that line of work.
Hmm.
I think that's really something.
Thank you.
Well, we're out here in, the capital today,
Hmm.
and a lot of people have beliefs that are important to them, fight for,
Hmm.
protest for. Is there a belief that's important to you that you'd like to explore today?
Um, yes, of
Yeah.
course. I do have some beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a religious person, but
Yeah.
um, one thing that's very important for me is kindness in terms of animal. I mean, uh, I'm kind of vegan, so
Oh, I'm
yeah,
vegan too.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, so one thing that's very important for me is to be kind to all creatures, and
Okay.
it doesn't it's not different between me or other animals.
It's not different, meaning that uh,
The
you shouldn't
pain,
treat, yeah, the suffering that they
exactly.
experience. Okay, we can explore that. Um, is the suffering that animals experience
Hmm.
different from humans? You would say that it's the same, right?
Yeah, they're the same.
Hmm.
After all, we don't know. We
Yeah.
really don't know, and we cannot um,
Okay.
be like sure or certain about this that they are actually experiencing the same
Yeah.
pain. But as we can tell that they have the same expressions for pain, for caring about their family and everything. So
Hmm.
um, as long as we know that it could be correct or in
Okay.
terms of experiencing
Um,
the pain.
so you believe that they do experience the same pain, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. How confident are you? Let's say you have a choice between absolutely certain,
Yeah.
can't change your mind,
Hmm.
strongly agree,
Hmm.
agree, and slightly agree.
I'm not certainly about anything
Hmm.
because everything is relative. And in this stage of my life, I can say I strongly believe that they are experiencing the same, um, like, yeah, the same things that we are experiencing as human. And I believe that we are animals too. So yeah,
Okay.
I strongly believe.
Okay. Is there anything that could increase your confidence that they are experiencing the same as we do? Hmm.
Um, well, something that makes me very um, more certain. More the probability of this increase by the expression of the feelings
Hmm.
about the suffering and pain and how they care about the family and just the expression and how I feel that expression. I mean,
Okay.
I think they're the same, but I don't know how I can increase it. I can say we cannot be certain about anything like 100%.
Okay. Yeah, we can't be certain 100%
Yeah,
about this.
yeah,
Um, but you have told me some reasons why you think they do experience it the same way. It's because you see their expressions.
yeah.
Um, and what else? What other reasons was it? Uh,
And I can say for animals that have the same body parts as
yeah.
us, so that's another thing that makes me like compare us to, for example, a sheep or a cow.
Yeah.
For example, having breast and giving milk to their children, or some physical aspects of it, and the hormonal, and how we use animals in the animal testing industry.
Okay.
That's the other thing.
So you're saying because they have the same physical, they have similar physical traits to us, like they have legs, arms. If they have similar traits like that, they might experience pain the same way. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's my understanding actually, because this is how we visualize things around us. I mean, this is the evidence for me.
Yeah.
And I think we all find results based on things similar or against each other.
Yeah.
So I think this physical and the expressions of the feelings are the similarities between us and them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen someone with like a leg before that they couldn't feel? It was like numb.
Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't feel anything in their leg. Maybe it was a result of illness, or I don't know. Some people are born that way, actually. And so that makes me wonder, and this is just a question to you, with that in mind, is the similarity that someone or something has to us an indicator that is it a good indicator that they are experiencing things the same way as us?
It's not a necessity, but it can be a variable.
Yeah.
It's not a necessity, of course, but
Okay.
yeah.
It's not necessary.
No, it's not necessary.
It's subject to. So is it a good indicator then?
It could be.
Yeah.
But about any thesis, I think we should mix and conclude many aspects of everything and think about the pros and cons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then make a decision that this is my belief about this.
Okay. So you're thinking about the pros and cons of exploiting the animals, the pros and cons of whether or not what in this context, what are you referring to?
Pros and cons against or in order the belief, if it approved my belief or it's not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not in terms of if I can have benefits from them or things like that.
Okay. I'm wondering if someone can not feel their legs, if we can look at somebody and not immediately know whether they can feel their legs or their arms, I'm wondering if you can justify being confident that animals feel the same as we do. If you're not able to, you can see similarities with them, like you said.
Yes.
But if those similarities can't necessarily be good indicators of experiencing the same pain, is that a good reason to believe that they do experience the same pain?
what is the like your what is your justification about this? That we are not the same, or we cannot be never we can be sure, like certainly that they are not. I mean, the insects, for example, they're not the same as we are.
Yeah.
But when we study them, for example, when we um, ampute one of their legs, for example, they show some um, they shake, for example, or we can see that it is not the same
Oh,
as
okay.
before. Yeah.
Yeah. So they show, yeah, when they show, uh, when they show pain, that, yeah, that type of response you're able to see.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, is there anything that could move your confidence up or down one way or another about whether they experience it the same way? Because, you know, you can see an insect's legs shake,
Yeah.
but I guess you don't know if they're feeling it as severely as we would if you did something to one of our limbs. You know,
Yeah. So I don't care. I
you
mean,
don't care.
we should not care. I mean, me myself. I mean, we should. You know, even we as an individuals, I
Yeah.
think we experience pain in different ways. For
Mhm.
example, somebody can feel the cold
Yeah.
weather, yeah, much better, and others not. But yeah, I think it doesn't matter after all. I mean, the thing that matters is if we don't want anything for ourselves as a being, like someone who is alive, we should not want that for animals too.
Okay. So it's a consistency thing. Like, you know, we wouldn't assume that someone doesn't feel that the same way. Like, regardless of whether they feel it stronger than another person, we just wouldn't do that to them. Is that what
Yes.
you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Uh, are there any questions I didn't ask that you would like me to ask before I go?
What's the reason you became vegan?
I became vegan because you know, I thought they were suffering too.
Mhm.
And I felt that if I don't have to contribute to this system of exploitation, then I won't. So, yeah, it was just as simple as that. It was like, oh, I don't have to live this way? Well, now that I can see different ways to eat of how to avoid this, then I'm just not going to do it anymore.
Exactly, because you feel they're experiencing pain. Yeah.
I think
Or
that they might be. Yeah, I feel like I have good reason to think that they might be because of the stuff that you talked about today.
yeah.
You know, seeing the seeing the way it's similar to ours. Um, yeah. Thank you
Yeah,
for this
thank you.
conversation.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name again?
Yasamin.
Yasamin.
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Yasamin.
Awesome. Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, you too. Is there any way I can have this, or I don't know?
You could. Yeah. We have a QR code to the YouTube channel.
Oh, it's a YouTube channel?
Yes. Yes.
The QR code is right there.
Yeah.
If you scan that, that'll take you right to the channel.
We also give out these puzzle pieces if you want one as a memory of this conversation. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Love it. Epistemology.
Street epistemology. Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Epistemology is the study of reasoning and how we come to know things. And so the conversations I explore with people has to do with their reasons for why they believe what they do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
So I hope you felt just a little bit challenged today because even though we agree on the conclusion, I wanted to see if your reasoning was, reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Bye.
Thanks again.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
All right. She said she felt challenged, so that means I win. I'm kidding.
Animal suffering?
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell me about it.
So, I mean, she's vegan, and she was talking about her reasons why. Well, the claim specifically was that animals experience pain the same way we do.
Okay.
And we acknowledge that, like, you can't know that, but there are symptoms that make you think that they might. And so we talked about the the fact that, you know, when you stab them or something, they have expressions that are similar to ours. Of course, not all animals do. Even if they don't have an expression, they might have some type of, you know, physical twitching or something, some type of response to the stimuli that when we see a human do it, is associated with pain. I did challenge her on this, though, because I wanted to remind her that, hey, like, you know, I've seen people before that turn out to not be able to feel pain because their arm is numb or their legs are numb, and they can't feel any pain. So does just looking at the animal and seeing how they're physically similar to us mean that, you know, does that warrant this strong confidence you have? And I think, you know, you may have to replay the tape here on this, but I think her understanding was like, no, not just being physically similar to us, but it's like the way the pain is received, the way the animal is appearing to, because with like a numb person, if you stab their leg, they're not going to react. If you stab my leg, I'm going to react. So because there is a similar reaction between these organisms, you know, it leads you to think, okay, well, because of that, it must be about the same. We acknowledge that, you know, people could have different amounts. And I realized I just caught this just now. We did acknowledge that, like, a person might feel colder. Like, a person might feel things more strongly than another person. Colder, warmer, more pain, less pain. Yeah, what I'm catching just now is that, like, by acknowledging that, like, I guess it's technically against her claim because, you know, I think we initially said that, like, animals and humans experience pain in the same way. I think that was an opportunity for a clarifying question, like, what do we mean by in the same way? Because in the same way doesn't necessarily mean, like, literally you feel the wound is just as painful to you as it is to me. Because that may not even be true between us humans. So I think when we say the same between humans and animals, we mean with the same kind of variation between me and you. I think that's what we mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does her reasoning match her confidence?
I think it does. Yeah. Now, after clarifying it with her.
Hi there.
Yeah.
Give up. How do you know?
That's our question to you.
Mm-hmm.
How do I know what, though? Oh, my beliefs about, is it politics?
Could be. Doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Is there something that you know is true that you want to explore?
Jesus Christ died for your sins.
Okay.
He's coming back to judge. You think he's just a God of love. He is God. You think his only attribute is love, correct?
That's what I think.
Yeah,
How do you know what I think?
I can tell. That's the answer I get from 100% of the people I talk to. His only attribute is love.
Do you want to talk about that?
Everybody's going to heaven, you know, and so it's ridiculous, right? It would be like saying your only attribute is that you're a genius, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know you've got a lot more going on than just being a genius. Is that true?
It sounds like you know a lot about me. Do you have 10 minutes?
Sure.
Okay.
Sweet.
Will you have a seat right here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me reset this and we'll be good to go.